Hey, welcome live to Content Marketing World Chatter. I'm Tim Washer, and we have Jenny Dietrich here as our very first guest. She brought her own background.
I
of
did,
sound effects.
apparently, yes.
That is nice. That was kind of a thunder effect that we're working on. We're kind of testing things out. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure.
We have been, it took us like 2 years working with your publicist to get you here.
For heaven's sakes, it did
So
not.
it was very difficult, but we're glad you finally agreed. And we're glad we can
He's
get the money
joking.
together for her. So
Yeah,
we're really
that's
happy
right.
about that.
Yeah.
Let me start off with an embarrassing question. I understand Netflix has bought the rights to bring back the television show Bones. Can you talk about that?
I cannot.
Are you guys filming yet? or-
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm under NDA.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, you did such a good job in the first run. We thought you were a brilliant actor. You really committed to the role, and you had a passion like we haven't seen probably since Laura Ingalls Wilder on Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, my favorite show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my
yes.
favorite show.
So that was good work.
Thank you.
I want to talk to you. Can we move into business
Yes,
now that we got your vanity play out of the way?
Jeez.
Let's talk about hope as a strategy.
Oh, all right.
Tell me about hope as a strategy. What do you have to tell the business owners? What do you have to say to business owners about hope as a strategy?
Hope is not a strategy, as we continue to thunder. Hope is not a strategy, and I think one of the things that business owners tend to do, especially in our industry, is we say, okay, we're gonna do $500,000 this year, or $100,000, or whatever happens to be $10 million, or whatever our goals are, but we have no plan to get there. We just hope that we'll get the referrals or the word of mouth that come in through friends and acquaintances and former clients to help us get to that goal. And we keep saying, okay, we're gonna get there, and then comes November and we didn't get there because we used hope as a strategy instead of an actual plan.
So how do you, as an agency or owner, how do you go about putting things in place to put a little concrete around these ideas?
Well, it's not anything different than what we do for clients or for, any other organization. You have to create a plan. And we do a ton of work with agency owners. Most agency owners do not have a plan. They do great work for clients. They do really strategic work for clients. They don't do that work for themselves.
So is that like the cobbler's kids has no shoes?
Yeah,
is
totally
it that kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like in your book, do you talk about look, here's the first thing you need to think about to get over that hump. Here's the first thing you need to think about when you start developing a plan or building that discipline.
You really have to, I read a story about Bill Gates years ago, and they talked about how he goes to the mountains. He has a cabin in the woods somewhere, and he takes his Orange Crush with him and a laptop, and he just works on the business, or used to, not anymore. But he just worked on the business. And I've always remembered that because you have to make time to work on your business, not just in it. And if you don't make that time, and I think that's the first step, and maybe it's half a day a week. You take Friday afternoons, although Fridays tend to be really bad because then you're like, I'm just gonna go ride my bike, or maybe it's Thursday afternoons, or it's an hour every day. Whatever it happens to be, create that discipline to work on the business, and then you can eventually start to increase it from there.
Okay, so building it, and that's part of that's just scheduling, I imagine.
It is, yeah.
And see, even for me, it is really painful for me to. Do you know how many calendars that I'm not kidding? I got a stack of calendars at home that I haven't opened, that I just never have. I made that first step. I've told my therapist
bought the calendar,
I'm going to go and
yep.
I'll check in with her. I say yes, I bought the calendar. But it really is. It's difficult for me. I mean, an accountability partner or something like that.
Yeah, accountability helps a lot. Having a coach, somebody to help you just hold you accountable to that helps. Having a therapist helps.
Right.
Yeah.
And what is this? Now let me shift gears to your mastermind, helping folks write books. Tell me a bit about that, because I imagine there's a large part of coaching and accountability in that 8-week program. Is that right?
We do have an 8-week program for agency owners that teaches them this process of how to get it created, get your plan created, do your business development, have a process to actually create growth and hit your goals instead of relying on referrals and word of mouth and your hope. But one of the things that we have found, and this is really hard to sell because people don't buy this, but one of the things that we've found is that accountability piece of it is probably the most important part of it. But people don't buy that, right? They want to buy the process or they want to buy the plan.
Right.
they don't want to buy the accountability. But once they're in there, they're like, oh yeah, you're actually holding me accountable to this, so I'm getting it done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, look, I can tell you as a guy who has a stack of 17 calendars and planners, my Franklin Covey planner still hasn't been open.
I love those.
Still hasn't
You
been
know,
open.
you could use your calendar online, on the internet.
Which one? On Google?
Google, yeah.
Does that work for you?
It does work for me. Yeah. I actually even schedule in my exercise time.
So let's go to cycling. Let's talk a little bit about that. How do you tell us about scheduling the cycling time?
So it depends on sort of where I am in the process of motherhood and running the business, because those two things, of course, take precedence. So right now, I get up early and I work, and then I get ready for school and off to school and everything, and then I go and ride. So I'm usually riding between 8:15 and 8:30, and then I get my ride in with my coach. I have a coach for that.
Okay.
And then I go back to work. So, but you know, sometimes depending on where things are, it might be noon, it might be 5 o'clock in the morning. It just depends. It's the routine changes. It shifts.
How many times a week?
5.
Do you ride 5 days a week? Okay. So you're able to be flexible if the routine has to change, if you can't do between 8:15 and 8:30.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the advantage of owning a business, is I can be flexible. That's a lot harder for somebody who doesn't own a business, for sure. But it's also the flexibility I'm trying to build for my team too. If they want to go work out at 9 o'clock in the morning, your work's done, so be it.
Are you hiring? Because I want to do that. I want to get out. I'm thinking you, me, on a tandem bicycle.
I love it.
Just doing
Let's
some
do it,
conference,
yeah.
some work,
Awesome.
that kind of thing.
I love it.
All right. How can I find out about like if I'm an author who's been or aspiring author who's been procrastinating on writing a book for about 15 years? How do I get involved? How do I get your help?
Oh man, I've been procrastinating a novel too. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is it a murder mystery?
No, it's not.
No.
Is yours a murder mystery?
I can't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it right now. But since you brought that up, hi, I'm Tim Washer. I'm writing a murder mystery right now. Would you be in it? We bring back your character that you played in Bones.
I love it. Yes.
But you know all the rules on how to hide the crime.
I love
and you
it.
commit it.
Yes.
Think
and I'm
about it.
committed. Okay.
And you will be committed. No, you commit the crime.
Oh.
We open up on a chalk outline. There's a chalk outline and a tri-bicycle right over here, okay?
Okay. Oh, does that mean I killed the kid?
Yeah. No. I don't know. Well, can we go to a commercial break while we work this out? We bring in the attorneys and make sure everything's clear.
Right. Okay,
Hey, what are you speaking on here at Content Marketing World?
I'm actually talking about how.
I want to know, we're all about building content marketing and improving content marketing, helping people create more content.
He's setting me up.
Yes.
I am talking about how to grow your agency without more content.
Okay, we're going to have to cut and go back. What did you just say? Can you add that brake sound effect? Okay, tell us a little bit about this, because I'm thrown.
Sure, I mean, and I'm a great example of this because I'm the queen of content. I love to create content. It's my, if I could just do that, that's what I would do. So, but we all think, okay, well, we have to do blog posts and podcasts and videos and live streaming, and we have to do all of this stuff. And it turns out that we don't have to do all of that stuff. We just have to do one thing really, really well. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Okay. That actually lines up Joe Pulizzi's keynote. He closed on the 7th law, which is just say no.
Yep.
And it's right in line with that.
Yep.
It's like, and then earlier on he said, find out what you do great.
Yes.
What you do very well.
Yes.
Do that.
Do that.
And then get rid of the stuff that you don't do all that well. And the challenges in the corporate world so often, in the agency world, is, hey, we need more. We got to get on. We need. Oh, Snapchat.
Yep.
Let's do a Snapchat thing.
Yep.
Let's do a campaign.
Yeah.
And that is, just like cycling. It's a discipline you have to build. And Joe talked a lot about the internal selling that has to be done.
Yep.
On how you need to. And so is that part of kind of the work that you do? Is helping people, one, how to build that discipline on what to say no to, and then how to also communicate that internally?
Yeah, and really also to figure out what it is that you're good at. I mean, I was here at this conference, I want to say 3 years ago now, and I met the chief marketing officer at Libsyn, and he said to me, women represent less than 1% of podcast hosts. And I thought, well, shoot, I should podcast. And so we launched the podcast, and we have one, but I hate doing it. It's not my favorite thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't enjoy it.
But you still do it.
We still do it.
You still do it.
Of course.
Have you thought about just recording it when you're out cycling with your coach?
I feel like that would not be good for the PR industry, but that's a good idea
Just
in general.
kick the idea around
Yeah.
a bit. What, and how, okay, so
I
how
think
do
it
we...
would just be a lot of swearing and I hate yous. Why are you doing this to me?
Yes. All right, that's the title right there,
Yeah.
I think. Yes, I like that a lot. How can we find you and your podcast and learn more about your mastermind?
Spinsucks.com.
Okay, very good. It's all there.
It's all
right.
there.
Jenny Dietrich, thank you so much for being with us. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. We have some valuable cash prizes for you. I think
Awesome.
we do. You know what? It's a washer and dryer set, he said. What is it?
Is it a Maytag?
No, it's a 82 Impala.
Oh, well.
So it's in the shop right now. When can we get that out? We'll
What-
get you.
is it
we're gonna get
red?
you- we're
Is
getting
it
you an
red?
Uber. We can have it painted red.
Awesome, thank
Mostly
you.
red. Okay.
Mostly
It's
red.
more of a rust color, if you will. So, but with a little primer, you'll be good.
You know, you remember on Sesame Street, the woman that sat in the big chair because she couldn't sit? That's what I feel like in this chair. I can't
are you
touch
talking
the
about Lily
ground.
Tomlin?
Yes.
I love Lily Tomlin.
Wasn't she great?
Yes. Yes. And
Sesame
I
Street.
saw her live doing that bit.
Did you really?
That's right. And she's here after you, as a matter of fact, I think. Is she coming on? I think she's here after you. So, hey, I know you're speaking here shortly.
I am.
So,
I am.
thanks for joining us, and
my pleasure.
break a leg.
Thank you.
On speaking, not in your writing.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And scene.